thanks for agreeing to talk to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah. And I see we switch spots. You clean shaved. I'm used to seeing you on social media with all the beard, riding outside, no indoor training.
Oh yeah. Well, for Sebring, I wanted to, go slick and aerial, so it
There
had
you
to
go.
go.
Sweet. Yeah. Well, great talking to you, man. I remember us meeting first time in Chillicothe, Ohio. What is it? Time
Yep.
station. What is it?
43.
43. Yep. And I mean that was one of the highlights, I'm sure, for Marco during his 10th and record-breaking ram. So it was touching moment. I was really touched to see you and him connect. It was great to see, man. He really appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, just the whole crew, you and Lauren, and I mean, everybody. It was awesome to see all of you, and yeah, I mean, me and Marco have been friends for quite a while now, and uh, when I started Race Across America, actually, he was the last person to give me any kind of advice, before I took off on the start line. So, yeah, of course, I'm going to be out there and cheer for him when he comes through.
How amazing. And you know how it is during the Rime course where not every town knows about the race, or even there's a time station, but you don't see a lot of spectators. But tell you what, Ohio was amazing. Everyone was
Yeah.
out every single time station, including the gentleman that will place all the signs every half a mile. I forgot his name, but there was sign every half a mile, and there's no way you get lost in Ohio during Graham. So that was cool.
Oh yeah. The cycling scene is definitely, and especially after I came through, the year before, I think it definitely helped project that, hey, this is a pretty freaking epic race we got coming through Ohio. So, um, yeah, I'm happy to see it get real popular.
Cool stuff. I will talk to you about Ryan Sebring, but I just wanted to take you back a little bit first, kind of going chronological order. Um, so, I wanted to go back. I know when you were young, you joined the military. You were 6 years in the Marine Corps, and then 6 years in the Army, if I'm not mistaken, for which we're all thankful. Thank you for serving. And
Oh,
eventually you decided on cycling. So how this whole thing came around, from military to
uh,
cycling.
yeah, well, I in high school and stuff, I cycled, and growing up, I didn't have any money or anything, so anytime I wanted to go somewhere, I rode my bike. It was just, if you wanted to go into town, your bike, or if you wanted to go to the park, you rode your bike. Yeah, I joined the United States Marine Corps when I was 17, and I did 6 years honorably with them, and then I switched branches to the United States Army, and then 2012 I was retired due to injuries I sustained on the battlefield, and I just took up cycling to. I had a broken back, brain injury, deaf in my left ear, and I took up cycling to basically rehab myself. I used to love to run, and with the crush fracture in my back, I can't run anymore. I mean I can, but it's very painful. Cycling, I can get on a bike and ride all day and have no problem. Um, then I just used it to help wean myself off of medications that I were on, and then I started competing, and I mean it's just escalated into this craziness that it is now.
Yeah, amazing. I've been following your story. Yeah, it seems like cycling is healing a lot of people that deal with. You will know better, but depression and issues, just more of a mental health, I would say, and you cope with all these feelings and emotions. I mean, it has helped me a lot. I feel like this is my outlet. Instead of being on the street as a young person, you rather be on the bike and do something positive. So
Oh yeah, well, and I mean the more and more you get into it, I think that's the best part about it is, I mean, cyclists, once you get into it, you become not OCD, but you become very aware of what you eat and what you're putting in your body, and you make healthy lifestyle changes. And it's like, well, I want to eat as healthy as I can, and you're doing these things, and even when you're not on the bike, you're like, it's off season. I wonder if I could do some kind of cross training to carry on into next season. And yeah, it's a very awesome lifestyle.
Exactly.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. For a second. Definitely is. And you get hooked. So, and excellent. So it seems like you did a lot of cycling with your Dayton team, the local cycling team, and you were doing a lot of races. I see in 2015, 16, 17. You finished even third at the Ohio State time trial, if I'm not mistaken, winning Lake Hope road race. How was that time? I know you're doing the whole variety of cycling, from gravel to ultra cycling, TT. Which one do you enjoy the best?
Any that involves a bicycle. I don't know. When I started off in just short time trials. Then I originally in high school I had raced mountain bike, and I guess my passion is riding gravel and single track. But then as you get into it, people are telling, oh, you should stick to one discipline. And I would rather be good at all the disciplines than great at one. I really love to ride my bike, and I really started excelling in the ultra scene. But backtrack a little bit. Yeah, I had I started doing the time trials, and I had a local team called Team Dayton approach me, and I got a lot of mentorship from them. They connected me with some of the sponsors that I personally have now, and they have given me so much, and I have been approached by other teams, but it's just one of those loyalty things that they helped me get where I am now. So as long as that team is around, I'll be around. Both my wife and daughter race for Team Dayton. I do not see myself leaving that team. So
loyalty, they've been there since day one. I see the pictures. Your child is racing for them. Your wife. It's a beautiful.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Oh yeah, I'm very lucky and blessed that they both are heavily involved in cycling themselves. They are more they really love cyclocross. And as you know, like our ultra scene, normally cyclocross season is when I think world championship this year is October 30th. So our season is normally over.
Yeah.
And so cyclocross season, I do race, but I'm more there as their mechanic and their support person. And it's fun just to watch and cheer for them.
Yeah, it's very fun. I went and watched something in DC, and it was raining. There was like 2 inches of water on the ground. You can imagine. It was crazy. These guys are tough, and girls. So
yeah,
cool. So when did you flip the switch to ultra cycling? When was the first race? 12-hour, 24. I know later on you qualified for Ryan Ware at Mid Atlantic, 12:24.
Yes. Well, in 2016, or it might have been 2015. It was the last year that Race Across America, how they had that small challenge series that they used to have. I think they still have the Texas challenge.
Right. There was one in Ohio too.
Yeah, they had that one in Ohio, and I did that as a part of a 2-man team, and I really liked it. And it was a horrible day, a lot of rain, a lot of snow, because it was in that funky time period where Ohio, it might be really warm and it might be really cold. So that's where I caught the bug. And then, yeah, Mid-Atlantic, I was hunting around and I'm like, wow, like the fixed gear world record is only 386 miles. Like, I wonder if I could do that. And so I went down there with my fixed gear bicycle. I ended up finishing third overall down there, and I had set a record. And yeah, from there, man, it was just trying to get into every ultra event that I possibly could.
Nice, nice. And I know I read a few articles. It seems like you got a lot of encouragement locally and in the state after you qualified, and everyone was encouraging you to keep on going. Things just exploded.
Yeah, we in 2017 we went out to Borrego Springs, and I cracked the record again. I still own the course record there. I've been told that the actual record's been broke, but I still own the course record at Borrego for a fixed gear. And yeah, it's just like you saw, Ohio was really supportive of cycling. They just needed somebody to kind of rally behind. And yeah, for Race Across America, it's an expensive race. And we were so lucky through fundraising and sponsorships, and we pretty much did the race and we broke even, which is more than a lot of you know our peers can say. So
can't hope for, yeah, it's very tough. I only know from crewing once, but from you know the mini races around us, we hear the stories, and you know it's a lot that goes with it, along with crew.
oh, yeah.
It's not just the biking and being in shape and being qualified, but you know.
Oh yeah, the expenses, and you know you're asking crew members to basically give up 2 weeks of their life, and that's just huge to ask. Takes a lot of funds and a lot of friends.
Exactly, and you know, in most crews you have guys that have worked there together, some that are new, you know, different ages, different experience. So it's and you know you're confined to the small environment on the road, and the whole goal is to get this racer across the country safe. So it's a dedication, and all the racers seem to admit that half of RAM is the crew. So it seems like you had a good crew a few years ago.
Oh yeah, I had a top-notch crew. Come on, couple guys I served in the Marine Corps with, Gordon Smith, who had crewed for Hoppo before, Charlie, who crewed for Hoppo. My best friend jumped on the crew when we lost a crew member. Her name is Ruth, and she pretty much played the role of my nurse. And then I'm very lucky, and I give full credit to my success to my crew chief, who I am actually married to. Who she you know, she was a tough cookie. She stayed in the support vehicle that was directly behind me 100% of the time. And I know some people were like, oh, that's amazing. No. The rider has the easiest part of the whole thing, because you just have to pedal the bike. The crew does everything: food, clothes, navigation, and you know, the crew chief controls all that. And I think my wife should probably get more credit than I do for doing it.
And what better person than her, knowing you inside and out? And I mean, at some point they have to make the decision for you, right? From what I've seen, like after day 3 or 4.
Oh yeah.
Gotta rely solely on them. And
if you look around, because we kind of got criticized for my wife being the crew chief, because you know she doesn't have a heavy cycling experience, or you know. But the thing of it is, she might not have. I mean, she's really knowledgeable cycling wise, but there's nobody on this earth that knows me better. Like she could tell just from my voice in the radio, okay, Joe's hurting,
Yep.
Joe needs sleep, Joe needs food, we got to pump water. And even in my small ultra event, well, not small ultra events, but like Sebring, WTTC, Mid Atlantic, she's my crew chief for those, and she's on the radio, and she knows my nutrition plan. And from experience too, once you're on a bike for like 14, 18 hours, your mind is gone. Like simple math is impossible.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, last lap, did I bring on a mixed drink or did I have water? And the crew chief is essential for keeping track of all that stuff, and she does a top-notch job.
Yeah, I mean, it has worked for you. It has worked for Marco 10 times. His wife is
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I was going to say,
Uh-huh.
I always point out Marco. I'm like, if that system works for Marco and his lovely wife, it's going to work for us. So.
Exactly. There's no Marco without Irma, at least in my opinion.
Oh no, it's a package deal, and it's Joe and Heather. I mean, that's just it.
Good stuff. So what's the most memorable thing? What's the thing that you remember the most? What was the most difficult time during Ram? I mean, I know there's more than one, but a few things you can mention.
Oh boy. Coming down Wolf Creek Pass, and this is coming from somebody that lives in the Midwest and rides in the cold and the snow. I just remember because, and from crewing, I had spent the first 2 to 3 days in the desert, 100 degrees, heat. I climbed up Wolf Creek Pass, and it wasn't too bad because I was, you're climbing, but descending down that thing, there's snow still on the ground. It's getting pelted in the face with ice. I just remember the bike shaking so much because I couldn't stop, or I was just freezing. But probably the most memorable moment, Chillicothe, Ohio. It's not really known for a lot, and what we are known for, sometimes it gets bad name in the news. So when I got to Chillicothe, it was just, I had an amazing homecoming. Thousands of people out on the streets. The fire department here at Chillicothe came out and they brought fire trucks and extended the ladders and had American flags hanging down. I mean, I had one heck of a homecoming. And I had said before the race, all I had to do was make it to Chillicothe, which is 2,500 miles in. And the motivation I'd pick up from, being home would push me the last 500 miles. And yeah, it was an amazing moment. That's probably my favorite moment.
So nice, so nice. And you mentioned motivation. I know you got a lot of support from the local police, fire department, military, you being in the military. So is that part of the motivation? Like, always there's the thought that we're running from something or towards something. I mean, what were you fighting for? For some of your, the soldiers you served with, or what was the motivation?
Yeah. I always think of them, especially, like I said, I didn't get, it wasn't like I did my full term. I got retired out early, and half of me was, half of the struggle that I suffered with, or depression I suffered with, was I lost my identity. I went in when I was 17 years old. I did that job for 12 and a half years of basically all my adult life. I come home and I don't have things in common with like the peers that I went to school with. They went to college. I went to war. They have houses. I'm starting over. So then cycling is basically turned into kind of like my new identity. I mean, I stay at home with the kids, and I'm our primary childcare. That's my full-time job. My wife has a great job with the Ohio Supreme Court, And then basically I've rebuilt my identity. Instead of being known as that disabled veteran, now I'm this crazy ultra cyclist who, I mean, my name gets brought up with some of the, people that I read about a couple years ago. Just 2 weeks ago at Sebring, the first 50 miles of that race, I was right up there with Marco. And I'm like, wow, I go from being a disabled veteran to an elite cyclist, and it just helped me heal. And then, yeah, I use that success and what I can do on the bike to try to help raise awareness for my fellow veterans and, post-traumatic stress and veteran suicide, and try to show them like, hey, it's all right to be broken, but you're not beaten. There's life after the military. You can do amazing things.
Yeah,
So that's always in the back of my head, helping motivate me and